How's it going, internet strangers? Happy Halloween. You're probably watching this on November 1st or sometime after. This is my 31 days, 31 different horror game series that I did over the month of October in 2024. Without too much more yapping, here is all 31 days.
Daniel? Is that you? What are you doing?
"31 days, 31 different horror titles. The first one is Amnesia: The Dark Descent, the horror classic that changed the way we fear the dark. Imagine waking up in a haunted castle, no memory, and nowhere to hide. This game pushed survival horror to new heights, with every shadow creeping into your mind and no combat to save you. You're not just playing, you're surviving. Released in 2010, it became a viral sensation, spawning countless Let's Plays and reactions from huge content creators like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye, propelling it to legendary status. Their screams became our screams, and together we dove into the terrifying lore of the Orb, the Shadow, and Daniel's descent into madness. Whether you play it for the story or to relive those classic YouTube moments, Amnesia: The Dark Descent remains a must-play for horror lovers. Are you ready to dive back into the nightmare?
Welcome back to day 2 of 31 days, 31 horror games, and today I'm talking about Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth. If you're looking for a pure cosmic horror, then this is your game. This 2005 cult classic combines first-person adventure, psychological horror, and mystery, throwing you into a terrifying world of H.P. Lovecraft. You play as Jack Walters, a detective exploring the town of Innsmouth, and let's just say it's not a normal town.
You sure you haven't seen it?
I'm sure. Stop bothering me with questions.
A major part of the game is no HUD, no health bar, just you, your wits, and your sanity, which you'll slowly lose as the game messes with your head. Hallucinations, whispers, and visions of otherworldly horrors make every step unpredictable. You feel what Jack feels, the fear, the panic, the desperation. But let me know, would you survive in Innsmouth? And don't forget to follow for the next 31 days, 31 horror games. Welcome back, internet strangers, to day 3 of 31 days, 31 horror games. Today, we are facing the legend, Slender Man. This indie horror title classic drops you in the middle of nowhere, armed with a flashlight and one terrifying objective: collect all 8 pages before he finds you. With each page you find, the tension builds, the music distorts, and your heart races, and you realize he's watching. One wrong turn, one lingering glance, and it's game over. The moment when you see him just standing there, no face, no escape, it's a rush of fear that'll make you think twice about the dark. Slender Man was released in 2012. It's kind of a classic in the horror game sphere. Lots of people have played it at least once or played it when they were younger. Think you can survive the night? See you tomorrow for day 4 and another dive into terror. Day 4 of 31 days, 31 horror games. Today's nightmare? The Forest. It's a survival horror game where you're stranded, but you're not alone. Imagine crash landing on a remote island. Your goal? Find your son and survive. But survival isn't only about food and shelter, because something else is always watching. Craft weapons, build defenses, and explore an open world filled with caves and secrets. But the forest harbors cannibalistic mutants that stalk the woods, making you feel like every move you make, their eyes are watching you. Daytime is for exploring and gathering supplies, but when night falls, the forest comes alive. This is survival horror at its finest. If you love an eerie setting with strong progression and horror elements, try it. Day 5 of 31 days, 31 different horror games.
The sword is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
No. He left it here. He wants me to take it.
You will pay a price for this.
And today, we're getting into your head. Let's talk Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's not your typical boo horror game. It's more like, oh, now I'm hearing voices and they're all judging me. Senua's journey is a deep dive into her mind, battling psychosis, darkness, and Norse myth. It's like therapy, but with more axes. This game messes with your senses, the whispers, always there, always pushing. The visuals are haunting, beautiful, and downright unsettling. You'll fight, solve puzzles, and question reality, all while holding your breath. It's horror, but not in the way you would expect. Hellblade goes deep. It pushed the boundaries of mental health representation in gaming. And trust me, once you finish it, you'll need to take a deep breath or just go outside and touch some grass. Series continues tomorrow. Welcome horror junkies to day 6 of 31 days, 31 horror games. Today we're cracking open the deceptively innocent Doki Literature Club. On the surface it's all cute anime art, school clubs, and love interests, but beneath the sweet smiles lies a psychological horror. Dropped in 2017, this game caught everyone off guard by its wolf in sheepskin vibe, while meanwhile being a visual novel, exploring darker themes like self-unaliving and even breaking the fourth wall to deliver an unforgettable horror experience. It's not just about scares, it's about how it plays with your perception and expectations. The game is free on Steam, so it won't hurt your wallet to check it out for this horror game season.
Just remember, it's not all cupcakes and poetry.
Hey, you waiting for somebody?
Same here.
Shouldn't we be, doing something?
Day 7 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. Today, we're looking into the horror hiding within Half-Life 2. This 2004 classic is more than just a sci-fi shooter. There's the infamous Ravenholm level that comes to mind immediately, where fast zombies, eerie sound design, and use of shadows and darkness to put fear into most of the users playing the game at the time. Did you know there were originally going to be more enemies like the charred and soulless cremator? His creatures would stalk you, burning everything in his path, adding even more terror to the world of City 17. But for me, every headcrab jump, zombie scream, and sudden silence pulls you into its eerie world. Half-Life 2 is more than action, it's an atmospheric horror experience. More of this series tomorrow. Day 8 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And today we're plunging headfirst into the twisted nightmare of the Silent Hill series. Released back in 1999, this franchise didn't just redefine horror, it honestly transformed it. Silent Hill mastered the art of psychological horror, using chilling atmosphere, grotesque creatures, and a haunting soundtrack to keep you on edge long after you stop playing. Its fog-drenched streets became the stuff of gaming legend, and now with the recent remaster, we're seeing the horrors revived. The Silent Hill series is so popular, it ended even up getting 2 movies made for it, Silent Hill in 2006 and Silent Hill Revelation in 2012, both worth a watch. What part of the Silent Hill game still gives you chills? More tomorrow. Day 9 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. Today we're snapping into Fatal Frame. This 2001 cult classic flips the script on horror. No guns, no swords, your only weapon, the camera obscura, which lets you shoot the ghosts right out of existence. This game throws you into eerie abandoned mansions where spirits lurk around every corner, ready to jump scare you, take your soul, whatever they please. Here's a cool fact, in Japan the game is called Zero, referring to the idea of spirits living in the space between life and death. In many of the ghost stories, they're actually inspired by real Japanese legends. Making the scares a little bit closer to reality than we'd think. Would you ever face a ghost down with a camera? More tomorrow.
See, look at him.
Yeah, I remember you.
I think he remembers you too.
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Day 10 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're diving into the eerie world of the SCP Foundation. It all started as a collaborative fiction project back in 2008, with a simple post about a spooky creature called SCP-173. From there it grew into a massive online universe.
Boys, stay here. I'll take you down.
It wasn't long before games like SCP Containment Breach brought the scares to life, throwing players into a facility where these creatures have escaped. Did you know some of the SCPs are inspired by real-world myths and urban legends? Plus, the community behind the SCP universe is huge, with fans creating everything from YouTube videos to full-blown games. It's not just a fiction project or a game anymore, it's an internet phenomenon. It's inspired a whole new wave of online horror. Have you tried surviving the horrors of the Foundation? More tomorrow.
Should we go down here?
Hey, it's, I didn't think you'd call.
Day 11 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're heading into the woods with Blair Witch. Based on the iconic found footage film from 1999, this game puts you in the shoes of a former cop, searching for a missing boy in the haunted Black Hills forest. Released by Bloober Team in 2019, it combines psychological horror with exploration and even brings in your trusty dog Bullet to help guide you. The game taps into the movie's eerie atmosphere, while adding fresh scares with its own mind-bending twists.
You won't break me, you hear me? I won't lose to you!
One cool fact is the game has multiple different endings depending on your choices, adding to its replayability. It made waves online with YouTubers and streamers reacting to its terrifying moments. A lesser known detail as well is that hidden nods to the original Blair Witch film are sprinkled throughout the game. It's like a love letter to fans of the franchise. So are you ready to get lost in the Black Hills? More tomorrow.
Jesus!
Day 11 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And this time, we're talking about Don't Scream. This game flips the typical horror experience on its head, by challenging you to do just one thing: stay silent. Released as a viral indie hit, Don't Scream caught the internet's attention, with its clever use of sound detection, using your mic to track if you make any noise. Make a peep and the game punishes you, using jump scares or ends your run immediately. But did you know it was partly inspired by social media challenges like Try Not to Scream videos? The game took off in popularity thanks to YouTubers and streamers daring each other to make it through without reacting. And here's a lesser known fact: there's hidden lore in the story's environment hinting at a deeper story behind the scares. It's become a test of nerves and a favorite for content creators. Think you could stay quiet? More tomorrow. Oh fuck. Day 13 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And today we're taking on Alien Isolation. Released in 2014 by Creative Assembly, this game is set 15 years after the events of the original Alien film, and it nails the iconic sci-fi horror. You play as Amanda Ripley, daughter of Ellen Ripley, as she navigates a creepy, desolate space station while being hunted by a relentless xenomorph. The game was praised for its tension and authenticity, using advanced AI to make the xenomorph unpredictable, meaning it learns and adapts, making every encounter terrifying. It left a huge mark on internet culture, with streamers and YouTubers screaming their way through near-death experiences. The game's sound design used actual sound effects from the original Alien movie, making it feel even more immersive for fans of the franchise. Can you outsmart the perfect organism? More tomorrow.
More pie, Sheriff?
Don't mind if I do.
Day 14 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today, it's an all-time favorite of mine, one of the most bizarre in this series, Harvester. Released in 1996, Harvester is a point-and-click adventure game that's more disturbing than most. Set in the strange town of Harvest, you're tasked with uncovering the town's dark secrets while navigating its creepy, surreal atmosphere.
Darn that wasp woman! She's a mom!
It's known for its shocking violence and bizarre plot twists, which stirred up controversy back when it came out. Despite being a cult classic now, Harvester flew under the radar for many gamers back in the day. The game was developed by DayZ and features full motion video, adding to its unsettling vibe. It's gained a second life thanks to the internet. This game is a personal favorite of mine. Think you can survive Harvest Twisted Secrets? More tomorrow.
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
How was your day?
Can you follow us? Come.
You're taken hostage.
Stop! Do you want to die? Bleeding to death.
Gonna end your suffering.
Day 15 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And today we're diving into the tense atmosphere of DayZ. Developed by Bohemia Interactive, DayZ started as a mod for Arma 2, and I remember playing it back in those early days when it was a buggy mess. Sure, the zombies are there, but the real horror comes from the silence. Those moments right before you stumble across another player or hear a gunshot echoing in the distance. That tension builds, your heart races, knowing any encounter could be life or death. Knowing when to fight and when to hide is key. Sound cues play a massive role in the creation of moments where your heart will race, trying to protect the pixels you looted along the way. It's the human element that really brings the horror home in DayZ. More tomorrow.
Day 16 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're venturing into the post-apocalyptic world of Metro Exodus. It had a team of 150 Kyiv and Malta-based employees when creating this game. This is the third game in the Metro series. It's all based on the novels by Dmitry Glotowski. Unlike its predecessors, Metro Exodus moves beyond the claustrophobic tunnels of the Moscow Metro and lets players explore vast, open environments filled with danger. The game's atmosphere is its biggest strength, haunting landscapes, radioactive mutants, and the constant fight for survival. The attention to detail is incredible, and an immersive story. Lesser known fact, each in-game season represents a different stage of the protagonist's emotional journey, adding layers to the experience. Metro is a game with many layers and deserves a full playthrough from the fans of this genre. Ready to leave the wasteland? Bolshizovcha.
What have you got?
31 days, 31 different horror games. Alright folks, grab your Geiger counters, because today we're heading straight into Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, where the only thing more radioactive than the atmosphere is your decision making. Imagine a post-apocalyptic world so cursed even that the rats have PTSD. The Chernobyl disaster happened again, and now the zone's crawling with mutants, anomalies, and factions that'll stab you in the back for a loaf of bread. You're a stalker, sneaking around the hazardous wasteland trying to uncover its secrets. The Stalker modding community has turned the game into a gift that keeps on giving. You want new zones? Got 'em. Fancy graphics? Check. Whole new stories? You bet. And if you thought the madness ends here, wrong. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is coming out this year in November to destroy what's left of your sanity, bigger, scarier, and you better believe the zone is ready to eat you alive. More tomorrow. Day 18 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're scanning through the unsettling depths of the Lidar exploration program. Developed by Ken Forrest, this game blends cutting-edge Lidar technology used in real life for mapping terrain with a chilling horror atmosphere. You scan your way through pitch-black environments, the world slowly takes shape, revealing more than you bargained for. The minimalist approach cranks up the tension, making every scan feel like a step into the unknown. The lore adds even more mystery, keeping you hooked as you piece together the dark secrets of this eerie world. If you're looking for a horror experience that's all about discovery and dread, this one's for you. Ready to see what's lurking in the shadows? More tomorrow.
Wait. There's something strange about this place.
Day 19 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're entering the dark, haunted world of Kuon. Developed by From Software, yes, that From Software. In 2004, this Japanese horror game is set in ancient Heian era Japan, where spirits, curses, and terrifying demons lurk in every shadow. The game's eerie atmosphere pulls you in as you explore a haunted mansion filled with dark rituals and horrifying creatures, straight from Japanese folklore. Kuon is known for its unique blend of survival horror and traditional Japanese mythology, making the gameplay as chilling as it is mysterious. The lore is rich with layers of supernatural intrigue that keep you on edge. This hidden gem is a masterpiece of psychological horror of the PS2 era. Dare to face the ancient evil that awaits? More tomorrow. Day 20 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're stepping into an unsettling security booth. This indie horror game, developed by Kyle Horwood, throws you into the role of a lone security guard stationed at a mysterious facility in the 90s, complete with retro PS1 style graphics that really add something to the eerie nostalgic vibe. Your job is checking IDs of all the cars coming and going. Sounds simple, right? But as the night wears on, strange things start to happen, and the tension builds as you uncover disturbing details about the facility's dark secrets. The lore hints at experiments gone wrong, and with multiple endings, every choice you make pushes you deeper into the unknown. It's a slow burn horror that thrives on atmosphere and unease. Are you ready to guard the truth? More tomorrow.
I know it's difficult, Danny, but you must go back to that night. I need you to remember.
Day
21
of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're stepping into the dark and twisted nightmare that is Manhunt. Developed by Rockstar Games in 2003, this game takes you into the dark, twisted mind of James Earl Cash, a death row inmate forced to participate in a deadly game of survival. The atmosphere is bleak and disturbing, with gritty environments that make every moment feel tense and unsettling. The game's lore is centered around a sadistic director making snuff films, and you're his unwilling star. Manhunt pushed the boundaries of violence in gaming, sparking controversy but also earning a cult following. Fans have long hoped for a return of the series, but it remains one of Rockstar's most infamous titles. With its brutal stealth mechanics and a nerve-wracking atmosphere, Manhunt is a game that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Ready to step into the shadows? More tomorrow. How's it going, internet strangers? Day 22 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're descending into the underwater dystopia of Bioshock. Released in 2007 by 2K Games, Bioshock takes place in a haunting, decaying city of Rapture, a once utopian society that's now fallen into chaos. You play as Jack, navigating through twisted halls filled with splicers, big daddies, and audio logs that tell the tragic stories of Rapture's downfall. The atmosphere is thick with tension and philosophy as the game explores themes of power, control, and free will. Its unique blend of first-person shooter mechanics with RPG elements made it a groundbreaking experience. Bioshock remains a masterpiece of both horror and storytelling, an easy pick for 31 days of horror. Ready to dive into Rapture?
Not even the carrion eaters are interested in your radiated corpse.
Day 23 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're stepping into the wasteland of Fallout 1. Released in 1997 by Interplay, this game set the stage for an iconic post-apocalyptic series. What makes Fallout 1 stand out is the unsettling style of its characters. Their stiff animations and haunting expressions add an eerie edge to the already bleak atmosphere. The combat? Absolutely brutal, with turn-based mechanics that leave you or your enemies in glory. This game also wins major points in nostalgia for me. My dad used to let me watch him play when I was younger. The first Fallout's lore is deep and dark, touching on the collapse of society and the harsh realities of survival. And even today, the old school graphics only add to the game's unique, haunting feel. Fallout 1 may be a classic, but it's still a chilling experience. Ready to fear the wasteland? More tomorrow. Day 24 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're facing the towering terror of Siren Head. Developed by Modus Interactive, Siren Head is a short, spine-chilling horror experience. Based on Trevor Henderson's creation, in this game, you find yourself alone in a dense forest with only the sound of distant sirens. After some investigating, you realize the sirens are much closer than they appear. The atmosphere is terrifyingly simple, with its PS1-style graphics that make the game feel like a lost PS1-era horror gem. Siren Head's disturbing design and unnatural sounds are turned into an internet legend, inspiring fan art, videos, and even other games. It's horror stripped down to the basics. Just you, the dark woods, and a creature that defies explanation. Ready to find out if you can survive the siren's call? More tomorrow. Day 25 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're diving into the grotesque, surreal world of Scorn. Released by Ebb Software, this horror adventure is all about atmosphere. Its dark, alien world feels pulled straight from a nightmare. Inspired by the art of H.H. Geiger, Scorn is filled with disturbing, organic visuals that make every corner unsettling. The lore is mysterious, with a story that unfolds through environmental clues rather than dialogue, drawing players into a haunting journey of discovery. Scorn was in development for nearly a decade, as the devs wanted every detail perfect to capture that eerie, organic horror. This is horror that sticks with you. No jump scares needed. Ugh. Are you ready to step into this twisted world? More tomorrow. Day 26 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And today we're wading into pools. This indie horror game combines eerie exploration with a minimalist yet haunting atmosphere. You find yourself alone, navigating an endless labyrinth of empty, abandoned pools, where every echo and shadow keeps you on edge. The game taps into the uncanny with its simple visuals and immersive sound design, creating a space that feels unsettling, real, and strangely familiar. Pools was inspired by the idea of liminal spaces, places that feel both familiar and alien, like an endless dream. A Steam review said it best: the game feels like a way to face yourself. Its isolation and lack of distractions or entertainment will bring your mind to a place you didn't realize the game could. More tomorrow. Day 27 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. Today we're boarding the terrifying USG Ishimura in Dead Space. Released in 2008 by EA and Visceral Games, Dead Space redefined horror in space. Mixing sci-fi with brutal spine-chilling horror, you play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer thrown into a nightmare. He faces grotesque necromorphs, which are reanimated corpses that required strategic dismemberment to take down. The eerie sound design adds a foreboding element that amplifies every creak, whisper, and scream. The devs studied medical books to design the necromorphs, giving them disturbingly realistic anatomy. Dead Space has left a lasting impact on horror gaming, known for its blend of tension, gore, and psychological horror. Think you're brave enough to survive on the Ishimura? More tomorrow.
I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
Have done that! It fucking hurts!
Day 28 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And today we're stepping into the terrifying world of Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 switched to a first-person perspective, immersing players in every horrifying moment. You play as Ethan Winters. Drawn to a creepy mansion in Louisiana, he's searching for his missing wife. What he finds is a twisted family and a new kind of bioweapon. The game's intense atmosphere, brutal gameplay, and eerie lore make it a standout. And Capcom's development team rebuilt the entire RE engine to capture every grotesque detail. Fun fact, Resident Evil 7 was influenced by classic horror films, adding layers to its atmospheres and scares. Capcom nailed every scare in this game, making Resident Evil 7 a true masterclass in horror. Ready to face the Baker family? More tomorrow.
Is there never enough time?
For what?
Day 29 of 31 days, 31 different horror games, and today we're diving into the existential horror of Soma. Developed by Frictional Games and released in 2015. And yes, 2015 was 9 years ago. Sorry to remind you, but Soma takes players to the underwater research facility Pathos 2, where something has gone horribly wrong. You're faced with terrifying AI-driven creatures, and a storyline that explores consciousness, identity, and what it means to be human. The game's mix of exploration, stealth, and puzzle solving keeps you constantly on edge with horror that digs deeper than jump scares. Fans praise Soma for its thought-provoking story and eerie atmosphere, cementing it as a modern horror classic. The devs originally considered having the protagonist Simon slowly lose his sense of self over time. Ready to question reality? More tomorrow. Day 30 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. And today we're facing the teeth-clenching terror of the Dino Crisis remake. Originally developed by Capcom in 1999, Dino Crisis was a survival horror classic that mixed dinosaurs with intense Resident Evil style gameplay. You play as Regina, a special agent sent to a remote island where dangerous genetic experiments have gone wrong, unleashing deadly raptors and even T-Rex encounters. The remake brings new life to the series with stunning visuals and updated mechanics, while preserving the nail-biting suspense fans loved. Here's a cool bit of knowledge. Back in the 90s, Capcom considered using an AI system to make the dinosaurs unpredictable, but the tech just wasn't ready. With this remake, that original vision could finally come to life. Are you ready to survive against some prehistoric predators? Final day of this series is tomorrow. Day 31 of 31 days, 31 different horror games. We're closing with PT, the legendary demo from the creator of Silent Hill. Released in 2014 by Konami, PT was created by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, and it brought fans an unsettling looped horror experience. Set in a hauntingly realistic hallway, gamers and horror junkies alike were instantly hooked by the terrifying atmosphere, cryptic puzzles, and spine-chilling encounters. But just as quick as it appeared, PT vanished. Konami cancelled PT, pulled the demo from the PlayStation Store, and neither Kojima nor Konami have publicly discussed it since. A haunting fact, PT became such a phenomenon that even years later, fans are still remaking and analyzing it, keeping the legacy alive as one of horror's biggest what-ifs. A true masterpiece lost to time. This is the end, so there won't be more tomorrow. Thank you so much everyone for watching. This has been 31 Days of Horror with your host, me, Neek. This has been a really big growing point for my channel, so I really appreciate everyone that watched. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.